Alright, hey math minions, here we go. We are doing long division. So here we go. Look here, page 65 in our notebooks. In the top right hand corner we put long division. That's what we're doing. And here's our lovely video. I only have like 3 different color pens today because after the move I have no pens that I can find. But we have it set up for our Cornell notes and we are ready to take off into the past because this is something that was part of 4th grade math. That's right, long division. So let's get started. First thing I want to say is, what is a quotient? Okay, you probably figured that out yesterday. But what is a quotient? Well, a quotient is the answer to a division problem. No problemo. All right. So you know we're looking for the quotient, the answer. And I want to tell you to remember when dividing multi-digit numbers, take my pen. Okay, that's probably why that was in the drawer, because it's dead. Take small bites. I know, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not eating this. Well, it's, you know, it makes sense. Take small bites. Do it little tiny bit at a time. So take small bites and work one step at a time. Okay? So we need to remember that. Another question that's often asked is, what are the parts? Right? And that would be, we have a divisor, the bracket, the dividend, and of course the quotient. Alright? So let's pop into some examples, right? Example. So here's example number 1. We're going to start with a really, really simple one, okay? Here we go. We've got 2, 8, 5, 6. We're going to divide that by 8. Okay? Long division because we're using the bracket and we have more than 1 or 2 numbers. So 8 goes into, well, it can't go into 2 because 2 is too small, right? We're taking one small bite. A small bite would be 2, but that's too small. So we need to look at 2 digits. 8 can go into 28. Well, we can do that because I know that 3 times 8 is 24, and that comes as close to 28 as we're going to get. So I put the 3 above the 8 because that's the part that we're stopping at. We're forgetting all this other stuff. And sometimes it might help you to actually just have like a card or a post-it note with you where you can just say, okay, I'm taking one small bite at a time. So my small bite is right there. Okay? So 8 times 3 is 24. Now we're going to subtract. So we did the divide, we did the multiply, now it's subtract. That leaves us 4 left over, right? Now, another bite. Let's move it over. We're going to bring our 5 down. 8 into 40. Well, again, I know my 8s for all my multiplication tables, and I know that 8 times 5 is 40. 5 times 8 is 40. So when we subtract, that leaves me 5 left over. Alright, any more bites to take? Yep, there's at least one more because we still have a 6 there. So let's bring that down and put the 6. Now we have 56. 8 into 56, well, 7 times 8 is 56. So, we're done. Alright, clear? Then let's move on to the next example. Okay, the next example, and since I don't have a pen, let's try this in pencil and see what happens, if you can read it. My next example is going to be 168,048. So 168,048. We're going to divide that by 27. I know you guys are all going like, Miss Sissel, I don't know my 7s. 8 was hard enough. Now I know my 27s. Are you crazy? One bite at a time. Small bites, one at a time. So, can 27 go into 16? No. But it can go into 168. So I'm going to put my post-it note there. Now, 27 goes into 168. I know you guys are like, wait a minute, I don't know. Remember in elementary school when we learned about rounding and estimating? This is where it comes into play. 27, well, it's kind of in the middle, so you could round down to 25, round up to 30. I personally like 25. It's easy for me. 25, 50, 75, 100, 25, 150. Well, that's 6, right? 150 will go in there. So I'm going to try the 6. Now, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you need a bigger or smaller number. But it's a good place to start instead of doing 27 times 1, 27 times 2, 27 times 3, 27 times 4. 27. It's like, oh my God. So, try the 6. So we put the 6 above the 8 because that's where our bite is. 6 times 7 is 42. We carry the 4. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 4 is 16. Ooh, that'll work, right? So now we're going to subtract. 8 minus 2 is 6. And the rest of it is 0. So, next bite. Move over one thing. Bring my 0 down. 27 into 60. 20, 40, 60. Or 30, 60, 90. 25, 50, 75. I'm going to go with 2. Okay? 2 times 7 is 14. So we're going to carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Okay, that'll work. Okay, we borrow. Put it over there. 10 minus 4 is 6. Okay, we just had a 6. But let's see, what's our next bite? Ooh, we're going to put a 4 with it. 64. Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Da-da-da-da. I know. 64. Well, we know that 2 is 54. So we're going to go with 2 again. So we're going to subtract the 54, and that leaves us 10. Ooh, hopefully this is our last bite. We'll see. I forgot to do that. There we go. Now, bring down our 8. 548. You're like, wait a minute, what, Mrs. Soul? Come on. So if I go, oh, I put it in the wrong place. Yeah, Miss Sissel, your brain is not working. There we go, 108. So now, 25, 50, 75, 100. If I went 5, that would be 125. I think that's too much, so let's just go with 4. 7 times 4 is 28. Carry the 2. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Oh, look! Yeah, we're down on our things to remember, but there's 0. Yay! Okay, and we put a box around our answer. Forgot to do that up here, didn't we? Put a box around our answer because the teacher always needs to know. Okay, and one thing I'm showing my students in class is you may want to actually put a box around the whole problem so the teacher says, okay, that's all the work for this answer. And then that's all the work for this answer, so that we don't have to go hunting and try to figure it out. All right, I'm actually going to do one more example because this is something that's very, very tricky for you guys. So this last one is going to be 2, 3, 5, 0, and it's going to be divided by 16. Okay, one bite at a time. We cannot do 2, but we can do 23. 16 goes into 23 one time. So 1 times 16, we subtract 16. Borrow, and now 13 minus 6 is 7. Next bite. Bring down that 5. 16 goes into 75. Well, I know 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. So it would be like 5 if it was 15, but 16 is a little bit more. So I'm going to go with 4. 4 times 6 is 24. Carry the 2. You know what? I just realized you can't see it. No. You guys need to yell louder. Mrs. Oh, I can't see it! Okay, so let's go back. We did this first bite. 16 into 23, we said was one time. Minus 16 gave us 7. Move this over and we do our second bite. So bring down that 5, and it was 16 into 75. So we're going to do it 4. 4 times 6 is 24. So we put the 4 and we carry the 2. 4 times 1 is 4. Plus 2 is 6. Yep, that'll work. So, what is 75 minus 64? 11. And we still have more to chew on. We're going to bring the 0 down. 16 into 110. Well, let's see. I know that... 1, 4. How about... Well, we knew that 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90 is 6, and 16 is a little bit more, so I'm going to try 6. It might be 7. So 6 times 6 is 36. I'm going to just change that to a 3. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9. Oh, I hope that might not work. Let's see. So we have to borrow. Oh, it will work. That's a 4, and that's a teen. Yay, it worked. But I don't have any numbers left. We're not done. We're not done. We have to keep going. There are no remainders. In middle school, there are no remainders. We have to keep going. And you're like, but there's no more numbers. Notice I put that decimal right there. We're going to stick a decimal there because there is a decimal in every single number. The thing is, sometimes it's invisible. we didn't need that to see the decimal because there was nothing after it. But now we're going to put stuff after. I know, you're like, well, you can't just add numbers to it, Miss Cecil. Yes, you can. If it doesn't change the meaning, I can put 0 tenths. Okay? Let me stick my thing here. Bring down 0, and now I have 100. 6 goes into 140. Well, we just said 646. So I'm going to say 8. 8, 6 is 4. Now a lot of this, yes, okay. I said 7, I said 9. I'm just going with 6 times 8 will be 8. So I put the 8 down. I'm going to carry the 4. Times 1 is 8. Plus 4 is 12. Good. Didn't go too far. And subtract. We borrow. Gives me a 2. And that gives me 1. Okay. 12. But again, did we say in middle school there are no remainders? So, put another 0. Bring it on down. That's our next spot. 16 goes into 100. Well, it's got less than 8, so let's go with 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Put the 2. I still have my 4 from last week. Use that. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 4 is 7. Okay. So, and that leaves me 8. I know you're like, Mrs. This ever end? No, we're going to keep. We have to add another 0. There's our next 8. Bring it down to 80. 16. 16 times 8. If I times 5, 6 5 is 30. Put the 0. The 3. 5 times 1 is 6, plus 3 is 8. Hallelujah! We have answer! Yay! So we took little nibbles all the way, and there are no remainders. And now that is my lovely memory how we do long division in middle school. So, bye, and I hope to have time with you in class. If you're not, well, too bad, so sad.